Hello. Huskies back again with more Los Angeles Kings franchise mode commentary in NHL 18. I'm trying to get my recording program to cooperate here. Oh, we'll just run with it. Alright, so we're here. New season. This is year number 11. This is the farthest we've gone in a GM mode so far in all of my YouTube series. Our team's looking a bit rough. Several people have pointed out that we just might not be good enough for a cup run, and I kind of agree. Johansson, don't know how good he's going to do on that second line. We can swap Larkin and Zadina if we need to, but what might end up happening is Besser's 31, Larkin's 32, Pasternak's 32. It might be time to trade away some of these guys to recoup some draft picks and maybe rebuild. Like I said, we're going to be doing this GM mode up until the new game comes out. Now, I had something in mind in terms of the new something to do to pass the time, maybe like a mini series. But we'll go ahead and hop into the first game of the year while we talk about it. There was a comment on one of my last, I don't know if it was the Kings video or the Huskies video, but the way to build, what so far we've noticed since doing all these series is the best team you can build in NHL 18 was outlined as 2 superstars on the first line, a couple of one stud defenseman, Colin White, Tyson Jost, and then a decent goalie. Now my thought was to go back through my GM modes from this year and see who were the best of those role players that I mentioned, like who were the best 2 superstars. Hey, we won the first game in a shootout, of course. Who were the best superstars that outperformed everybody else from my other GM modes? Like who was the best defenseman, who was the best goalie, and then put together a custom roster where my team is 2 superstars. Colin White is the second line center. Tyson Jost is the third line center. We have, I think it was 1 or 2 good defensemen. You have 1 stud defenseman and maybe 1 good defenseman. And you have a star goalie. And then you just fill the rest of the lineup with role players and depth. And we see how the team does. That would be something a little bit different than my current. They would be longer videos. They would probably be a half hour to 45 minutes because it would be full seasons at a time. Jakub, didn't I have Voracek in this? Yeah, I did, right? I had him on this team. He was playing with Colin White. I don't want Voracek back. No thanks, Winnipeg. But yeah, the video format would be 30 to 45 minutes. We would do an entire season each video. Regular season playoffs. If we don't make the playoffs, we would do the off season, that video, and then the next video. So each video would be a season, full season. And it would release maybe once or twice a week, depending on when I had time to record it, because those are going to take a little longer, being it's their 45 to an hour recording, potentially. So if there's interest in something like that, I think it's a fun little way to end NHL 18. Kind of taking the best of... who's Spacek? Michael Spacek. 31 years old, 79 overall. Thorn. The only reason I'm considering this, low top 4D, 69 overall, is they're significantly worse than us and they're giving us 2 draft picks, so I'm going to take that. Oops. Back up. Go down here. No, let me... oh. There we go, proposed trade. Alright. Ontario Reign can have the best roster. But I feel like that's a fitting way to end NHL 18, kind of do a GM mode with the star characters. Obviously our 4th line center would be Devin Shore. But trying to figure out who else to put in those depth spots. And this would probably be a GM mode that I would just kind of real have fun with it. This wouldn't be real serious, real realistic. I'd probably turn the salary cap off so that we can keep the team together. Just easier. But I'm trying to figure out like what I would want to put together on that roster. If you've been around for all of my GM modes, the Stars, the Red Wings, New York, LA. Was that all of them that I did? I only did 5 of them? I could have swore I did more than that. Either way, quick break from talking about that. We're doing really well, actually. I know I was a little skeptical on how our team would perform, but we're 16-6-1 so far to start the year. That's a pretty good record. I'm noticing our defense is doing a real good job in a lot of these wins, but our offense is real hit and miss. And so they sent me a 4th and a 7th. I sent them a 5th and a 7th. I'll decline that. So I mentioned we had a discussion about the Kings in the Discord, which again, link in the description. I've updated the link. I noticed that the link in the Huskies video didn't work. And if you're like, again, I've mentioned this before, if you don't want to talk in the Discord, like vocal voice, like with a headset, you don't have to. Like, this Discord is primarily just for text communications. It's just to it's an easier place to have a discussion about GM modes. And anything and everything. There's miscellaneous channels, whatnot. So that's always going to be in the description for these videos going forward. But we're kind of jumping around. Going back to that custom roster, I'm trying to figure out what superstars I would want to put as my 1 and 2. I wouldn't pick McDavid simply because he sucked for us in New York. I say sucked. I mean, he was like a 70-point guy, but for, what was it, $10 million or $11 million a season, he wasn't even a point per game. So, in my eyes, that's bad. It's terrible. I just realized we won 4 of our last 6, and they were all 3-0 shutouts. Interesting. 27-10-1. 28-10-1. At the 7 point. All right, so let's go see what our points are looking like. Like, who's getting points? I'm gonna assume that our first line has regained their spark. That would appear to be the case, because I mean, last year going into the postseason, they didn't have the greatest regular season, but the year prior to that, they were a point per game. But again, they're still. Zadina has 39 points, Larkin has 30, Pastrnak has 30, Besser has 23, Gogol has 23. So he's not doing awful, but he's not doing fantastic. But again, look at the plus minuses. Like, their points may not be absurd, but everyone in our top 6 besides Ryan Johansson, because of Marcus, I'm gonna be saying his name so wrong. Aside from him, our entire top 6 has 10 goals, at least double digits. Then you got Riley with 22 points, Cameron with 21, this Kunin kid, 21 points. So he's coming in. He's not doing too bad. Again, plus 19. Just the plus minuses are what I'm really looking at. Riley Smith doing a good job on that 3rd line. Braden Point. I know I was going to put Cutler up on the 3rd line, but I mean, his role is only 4th line. He's 26 years old. He's not going to get any better. If he was 23 or 24, I would have considered strongly keeping on that 3rd line, but he's not going to get any better. And our 4th line is the only one that's really struggling. Dunkley's a -1. Dunkley's a -1, and that's it. The entire rest of the team is a +5 or higher. That's sick. How's Chen doing back there? Chen, 23-8-1, a 946 save percentage, 8 shutouts already. He's averaging a shutout every 4th game, a 161 goals against. Even Ledoux. I think it's either Ledoux or Leduc. I'm going to call him Leduc because quack quack. He's 6-2 with a 925 and a 211. So we're looking pretty solid, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I was going to let the team dictate how I went into like the trade deadline and just kind of figured out if I'm going to be a seller or not. But I mean, we're averaging 3 goals a game. We only give up 1.79. I think our defense is too good. Power play is 19%, not the best, but it is 3rd in the division. Penalty kill 76. Penalty kill is really not very good, and we're a little lackluster at home. At least in comparison to our road record. So I'm confident that we're going to be a pretty decent playoff team. This is probably our last good run, if I'm honest. And what I would probably end up doing is I'm going to stop. No, I'm going to send to the trade deadline, and then we're going to go look. Oh, of course, I say this is probably our last good run. We lose 6-0. I'm going to send to the 25th, and then I'm going to go look at the contract situation because I know Pastrnak needs an extension. The only reason I would sign Pastrnak, he's 32. would be to ensure that I can trade him at the draft. Because we've had that issue in the past where I've let contracts run out, or I forgot to do extensions, and we come to the draft and I try to trade these guys to move up or to just get a return for them because I'm not going to resign them. And it ends up being a crapshoot because nobody wants to sign a guy that's about to go into free agency. Nobody wants to trade for rights if they're not an RFA. Alright. 31, 14, and 1. $32.16. Alright, so we're 15 games over 500. We're kind of... Are we gonna struggle here in this month to really make my decision hard? Can we please just be one end of the spectrum, not right in the middle? Give me a clear decision on what I need to do here. I don't want to give you my second round pick. I already traded away my first round pick. Also, and I hope the fan's not getting in the mic. Apologies if it is. I pushed it far away, but I might have forgotten to angle it down. Kropacek and a fourth for... Nope, that's my third. I want my third. Even though it's St. Louis' third. Alright, so there's 5 straight wins. If we hit 40 wins by the trade deadline, I think I'm going to stay as a buyer. I'm not going to make any moves. Like, I think our team's fine with it. Evan Bouchard, man. You'd not get very good, fam. If that's the same Evan Bouchard. It is. 78 overall. First round pick by the Islanders. I mean, he's not a terrible defenseman. His offense stats are pretty crap. Like, really bad. Alright, never mind. They were sending me a third round pick there. A third round pick for a 7th round pick might not have been bad. I probably should have looked at that a little more. Whoops. It's alright. Samuelson at 4th and Dobson for... No, I don't want to give you my second. Come on, hit 40. Okay, 1 for 1. I'll pass. No, we're not going to hit 40 wins and make this decision easy. Can we just hit 40 wins, please? Please. No, stop losing. I mean, we're still 16 games over 500. We lost 4 straight there. 4 out of 5. We lost 3 straight. 4 out of 5. All right, so we ended with 39 wins. Of course we did, because why not? Ugh. All right. Zadina, 17 goals, 39 assists, 56 points. Not point per game, but still pretty damn close. I'm sure our top 6 is all real close. Yeah. Aside from Johansson, he still has 29 points. I mean, I don't think he's doing awful, but he's definitely starting to lose a step. He's already at 77. I might put this Kunin kid up on the second line. Either Kunin or Braden Point. Might be better off on that second line at this point. Gogol, 13 goals. Besser's got 24 and Larkin has 21. So, I mean, again, it comes down to plus minuses. The first line's struggling a little bit. They've kind of fallen off a tad. Their plus minuses aren't nearly as impressive. How's the Vez in the back here? 13 and 17 with a 938. Ooh, Leduc is not doing great. 897 and a 299. So our backups are really having a rough time. Chen's doing fantastic. Like, best goalie in the league. Which reminds me, I have to go see the Snake. How's he doing? 22 and 19 and 4. 930 save percentage and a 210 goals against. But his team's not very good. He may be doing fantastic, but his team probably blows. Yeah, look at all these minuses. I mean, they got Hargrave, who's a plus 15, but aside from that, you got a bunch of young kids that can't put the puck in the net. Yeah. All right, back to me. Back to the important things. Oh, look at my defense. 31, 30, 30. 3 defensemen with 30 points, and then you got these guys down here. Is Dunkley still in minus? He's still minus 1. He's not playing, that's why. Spacek got put in the lineup. I have to go look at my lines then. Oh, because I assistant coached best roster. That shouldn't have changed my NHL team, because that was the AHL team. My line should be exact. Yeah, it did change my lines. Braden Point's on the 4th line. No, Cutler. What is this? Pasternak. I'm actually going to put Johansson on the 2nd line. I have so many playmakers. I'm actually going to put Johansson on the 4th line with Spacek and Cutler. Just to see if Kunin can work better, because I like Johansson up there. But I feel like this Kunin kid is worthwhile and worth a shot up there. Ron Kern, 29. Oh, computer went to sleep. That's the last thing I want to happen. We got another kid in the lineup possibly ready to come up. Kern. Nobody defensively, though. Goaltenders. I mean, we really don't need a goaltender. Alright. So I'm going to stick where I'm at in terms of my roster. I'm not going to do anything. But let's go to see contracts and see where we're sitting in terms of... I have 820,000 in cap. So I have to sign Swanson, Pastrnak, and Larkin. Well, Swanson's the big one. I want to get him. He does not want an extension, which isn't great. But 7 years, 8.1. Pastrnak wants 8.6 over 7 years. You know what? I'll give you a little extra, just because I plan on trading with the deadline anyway. Larkin, 32, 5 years. I'm gonna overpay for both of these guys because I think this is gonna be our last big run, and then I'm gonna clean house at the draft. I'm gonna clean house at the draft and see if I can get a quick rebuild. Because I don't want to hold on to guys past their usefulness. Alright. Let's go ahead and finish off the rest of the season. Alright. Hopefully this line change doesn't completely screw us over. I don't think it will. I think we'll be okay. Pastrnak signed, Larkin signed, Swanson signed, Braden Point rejected. That's alright. Alright, so we got all 3 of them, which is huge. Like I said, those are all probably pretty big trade pieces I can throw around. Because like I said, they're all 32. 33 is pretty much the forward age where you start to lose talent. So I don't want to be stuck with these guys. Especially with these massive contracts. That's the only downside is I don't know if bottom feeders are going to want these. A bottom feeder will want Besser, but I don't know if they'll want Pastrnak. Or look at these games. 2-1, 2-0, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. 1-0. Hey, 4-2. There's some offense. We ended up being, I mean, we're going to be a 50-win team. Yeah, there it is. Beat the Ducks for the 50th win. That's nice. Can we win out? Vegas, Minnesota, Vancouver. Vegas is a 53-win team. Minnesota's a bad team. Of course, they beat us. And Vancouver is... We lose out. Alright, so I wanted to win out, and instead we lose out. Fitting. And we get Vegas. God. Isn't Vegas had like 50 wins? Didn't they had 53 wins or something like that? They had 54 wins. Are we like the 2nd and 3 seed in the division? What the hell? Zadina only was 63 points, so in the last month and a half he had 7 points. Calgary had 116 points, they were first. So we get stuck playing 115 point Vegas Golden Knights. We had 108 points, but how bad was the Central? Oh my goodness, nobody hit 100 points. How about out east? Okay, so out east both divisions had 2 good teams, but the Pacific is definitely stacked. 4 teams above 100 points. Damn, man. Alright, so how are we stats-wise? So our scoring definitely fell off. It's at 2.65. Goals against, still pretty good. 166, 202. We were 3rd in the division behind the 2 teams in front of us in the standings. Power play, 16%. Power play across the boards are down, so I don't know if that's just me or that's the game. Penalty kill, 80%. That's pretty good. Records aren't great. Record isn't great at home. It's good on the road. Very good road record, but home record could be better. And we fell off at the end of the season 5-4-1. See how our team looks point-wise. Zadina had 63, Pastrnak had 57, Besser had 56, Larkin had 54. So those are the big 4. Zadina's the only guy that's going to be here after this season probably out of these 4, if I'm honest. Because I've got a really young D-core, and I'll probably go with 41. Kunin ended with 36, but he was a plus 25. Johansson ended with 31. plus 12. Riley Smith had 15 goals. I asked for 15 or 20 goals, and he got us that. Cutler ended with 22 points, plus 10. Kopitz plus 27. 100. Can we stay out of the... Cameron, get out of the box, you bastard. 114 penalty minutes. Gogol's definitely more of a playmaker. His shot's getting better, but definitely more of a playmaker. I need to put him with a scorer. Which, I mean, he's currently playing with... he's on the first line, so he's playing with Pastrnak and Zadina. Neither one of these guys are official goal scorers. I mean, Pastrnak has a shot, and so does Zadina, but they're not... They don't have the sniper's touch, I guess would be the case. Goaltenders, Ralph Chen, 12 shutouts, 45 wins, a 940 save percentage. Yo, that's got to be an NHL record. Let me hit up the Google machine real quick. I gotta see. NHL best single season save percentage. Alright, Jock Plant had a 9.437. We had a 940. Damn, we were actually... That's actually 5th, because I don't know the 4th digit. Well, actually, I can math. I'll do the math. Calculator. It's what? Saves divided by shots against. So 1973 divided by 1855. Nope, other way around. 1855 by 9. Ooh, 1970. Oh, that's way. That's not 19,000. 85. 973. 9402. So it was the 4th. It was the 5th best save percentage in the history of the NHL. Granted, I don't know what everybody else has done, but that's the first 940 I've seen. He had a 174 goals against. Damn. I want to see also. Oh man, I can't. I just want to see goals against. No, that's NH. No, I want all time. Sorry, a little break in the action here while I try to figure out goals against single season. Here we go. An 09 okay, that's back in 1928. How about like this decade, century? Brian Elliott had a 155. What? When was that? When was the 155? Oh, that was the lockout season. No, it wasn't the lockout season. The lockout season was the year after. When was the lockout? I don't remember. Either way. No, that wasn't a lockout because he played 38 games. I don't remember when the lockout was. Either way, I'm losing it. Chen had a great season. We'll leave it at that. Let's compare it to Boyd. Because that's all I care about. 928 and 217. Yeah, Boyd sucks. 29 and 27. He's on a shitty team, so I'm okay with him being in Boston. I'm not going to have to worry about him showing up against me. But that is where I'm going to call this video. As always, comment section below for comments, concerns, suggestions, anything. Keep that custom roster GM mode in mind if you can think of. I'm going to go back and watch some of the old videos, see if I can pick out guys that I like to want to put on that roster. But we're basically going to do a best of NHL 18 Huskies GM mode team. And like I said, that'll be one season every video. But yeah, that's all I've got. As always, thank you for watching. And I will see you on Friday for the next Kings video.